Alright, so my how-to vlog is going to be how to prepare to reading a story to a class. So, the very first thing you need to do is to know your audience and to understand the age group. So for me, I'm going to do a kindergarten classroom. You may do a high school classroom or a college classroom or even a fourth grade classroom. But the age group is very important. So the next step would be to pick a book that is age appropriate. So for a college class, you're not going to pick a picture book. You might do a textbook. For my kindergarten class, I'm going to be reading Where the Wild Things Are, which has plenty of pictures. The next thing you're going to do is just go through, make sure that there's no writing on the pages, flip through the story just so you get a brief understanding if you haven't read it before. And if there's certain vocab words you want to stress, you're going to want to highlight those. And if there's any topics that you want to go more in depth with, you're going to want to label that as well. The next step you're going to do is, what I like to do anyway, is I like to get Post-it notes, and if there's certain questions you want to ask, certain points that you want to get across, I like to write the questions on Post-it notes and just stick them right in the book, so when I get to that page, I know I want to ask that question. Different age groups, you might want to do different reading skills. So with kindergarten, I'm going to be focusing on inferencing. So my question is going to be, what do you think is going to happen next? Okay, so I'm just going to put that somewhere in the book that I think makes the most sense. Next thing you're going to do is just make sure that you use emotions, maybe hand movements, appropriate to that age group. So for college students, you might not do anything. For fourth graders, you might just stop so that they're hanging on the last word and listening intently. Whereas with kindergartners, you might do voices and you might get more excited about different aspects of it. So, for example, on this page, he goes, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That's not how you're going to read it to a kindergartner. I would read it, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. I put more emotion into it, and the kindergartners will get very excited once you're joking around with them and putting that excitement into the story. Another thing I'm going to do is when the vines are growing all around him and became the world all around, that's when I'll ask, what do you think is going to happen next? It makes sense in the story to ask so that the children have the opportunity to infer what will happen next. And you're going to want to read it through yourself, practice reading it out loud, that sort of thing, just so that you know for sure that you know the story inside and out. So that is all the things that you need to know about prepping to read a story to a classroom, knowing your audience, knowing and understanding if it's within that age group, maybe adding questions throughout, using emotions, maybe hand movements, and practicing reading it out loud. So that's how you read a story and prep the story to read to a classroom. Thank you.